in my old age, I've come to appreciate him more, I think.
I never stopped appreciating him. Cotton candy, I bet. Welcome back to Jedi Enclave. I'm Daniel.
I'm Chris.
And this is the Jedi Enclave Presents the Now This is Podcasting Podcast, which is our weekly podcast about Star Wars and Star Wars accessories. And we have some Star Wars on the show this week.
Indeed.
Thank the maker.
Or Jeff Keighley.
Or who the fuck's Jeff Keighley?
He's the guy who runs the Game Awards and therefore Summer Games Fest.
Oh, okay. Well, until this very moment, I did not know that. Thank you, Jeff. We also have, there's like a bunch of gaming news. And I will warn you, if you're watching this, like, oh, I love when you guys do Star Wars news. This will likely be the last news we have for Star Wars in a while, because I can't think of anything else that will be dropping. Unless they come out with a surprise, like, Jedi Survivor sequel.
Yeah, because like they didn't they delay Ahsoka, or am I?
Yeah, that's not happening until early 2027.
Yeah.
So
we've kind of got a drought for the next 6 months or
Yeah.
so.
Thank God that House of the Dragon is in like a couple of weeks.
Mhm.
House of the Dragon season 2 is in a couple of weeks.
Just
and
sort of tied you over.
well, which, by the way, our producer, my friend Matt, he and I, over the last, I don't know, month or so, have watched 8 seasons of Game of Thrones
Mhm.
and 2 seasons of House of the Dragon.
Did you do the Dunk and Egg show as well?
We are about to. I think we're
good.
starting that tonight.
Excellent.
And it won't take very long because it's only like 6 episodes, and they're kind of short episodes. After which, Matt will be totally caught up on the Game of Thrones verse, and will be able to participate with us in our post House of the Dragon discussions, which will be a lot of fun. So, while you're here, by the way, if you could go and give us a like on Facebook Live, Twitch, YouTube, TikTok, Kick, and Discord. All the links are there in the description. Agent 008 JR. Guys, if you know Ball, how did Tenebrous die? Oh.
Darth Tenebrous. He was the Bith, right?
Yeah, Plagueis killed him. He
Oh.
dropped a bunch of rocks right on top of his head. He's like, you know what? I'm tired of hearing your jizz. Dropped a bunch of rocks right on his head.
Darth Plagueis was the real one.
Don't try to... They were in a fucking cortosis case. You come in here asking me quiz questions about my most favorite franchise, my religion.
You come into his house.
Yeah. Tenebrous was kind of a badass. So,
So we're starting with Star Wars
what was I
gaming
talking
news. Or
about?
not
Oh yeah,
Star Wars
let me get our little pictures. Hold on.
So as you might be aware, this past week
Uh-oh.
was Summer Games Fest, and it's the replacement for E3. So not only is there this, official, unofficial Summer Games Fest show,
Oh, no.
but there's also
No, hold on. I'm so sorry.
Oh,
This is my fault that this has happened just now. We're not starting with Summer Games
Oh
Fest.
yeah, we're talking about.
We have to go in a certain order because I have the pictures in a certain order. So we're talking about the rumored Star Wars Starfighter plot rumors.
Oh no.
This could have been avoided if I wasn't so like insanely distracted by what just happened on the. Never mind, doesn't matter. So Star Wars Starfighter comes out in about a year.
Okay.
It's in May 2027, and we got some rumored plot elements. What source did they come from? We don't really know.
A guy on the internet.
Right, which means so ordinarily before the Rise of Skywalker, I would have been like, well, this is all a bunch of bullshit and you shouldn't listen to it.
Except the entire plot of Rise of Skywalker leaked.
Yeah, and we said it was all fake because it seemed fake.
Because it was stupid enough that it should have been fake.
And ended up being real.
Exactly correct.
My
only regret is that I did not actually walk out of the theater on opening night.
I will say that we've canceled that out by correctly predicting that Luke Skywalker was going to come to Mandalorian like after the first episode of season 1. So
I think actually that was canceled out by the leaked plot. But anyway.
Yeah, you're probably right. Actually,
just chronologically.
Yeah. So anyway, take this with a grain of salt. Who the fuck knows? There's nothing in here that's like super unbelievable. By the way, some of it kind of follows your typical Star Wars fare in storytelling devices and fantasy storytelling devices. It's vague enough that it probably some of it will end up being true. So, the film is reportedly set in a previously unexplored era of the Star Wars timeline, which was going to be.
We already know that.
Yeah, it's going to be. Well, that's how you do these. You start off with stuff that everyone knows, and you sprinkle in some bullshit and see what sticks. This is going to be like post Return of the Jedi, but before Force Awakens.
Okay.
Ryan Gosling allegedly plays a washed-up pilot, which, by the way, if we're going to pick one trope that Ryan Gosling would be able to do really, really well, washed-up pilot would be like the perfect thing, right?
Yeah, I can see him do it.
So he's a washed-up pilot and war hero named Daemon, not Daemon Targaryen, Daemon Skywalker or whatever. Yeah.
Daemon Skywalker.
Yeah. He is said to be famous across the galaxy, but trying to escape his past and live anonymously. Amy Adams' character reportedly plays the mother of a young Force-sensitive boy, who is the boy in the picture here. I can't remember what that kid's name is, but at the beginning of the story, her character is allegedly killed, which would be a very Disney thing, by the way. You take a kid, you kill their parents, and then have an adventure.
Send them off on a magical journey.
Before dying, she gives her son a lightsaber and tells him to find. Potential spoilers for Star Wars Starfighter, by the way. You probably should have said that at the top. And tells him to go find his uncle, who is revealed to be the washed-up pilot war hero Daemon. The boy eventually tracks Daemon down in a cantina, which is no place for a kid, as we all know. Daemon initially wants nothing to do with the kid. The story also reportedly follows the two bonding while on the run across the galaxy. So,
because of course,
there's nothing about this that sounds like it couldn't be a Star Wars movie.
Yeah.
And there's nothing specific enough
to say, hey, that's bullshit.
Yeah. Except it's like
the familial relationship, I suppose.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing is, the familial relationship kind of sticks out as one of the more obvious things to me because they like. If you look at the picture, they look kind of similar. There is a resemblance. Yeah, they're both moppy headed, fucking brown headed white dudes, right? So like, there's nothing about that surprising. Matt Smith, by the way, speaking of Daemon Targaryen, he's in this movie, rumored to play a feared warlord and arms dealer, and then Mia Goth, who is like, they apparently have this like Balin Skull, Shin Hati thing going on, where she is a Force-sensitive mercenary. She works for Matt Smith's character, and then she also apparently uses a lightsaber.
Okay.
So she's hunting Ryan Gosling and this kid down, and the leaker claims that Mia Goth has her own agenda and may want to train the boy herself. Right?
Okay.
So a lot of like classic, mentor-student Star Wars things with dead parents, Force-sensitive child, the reluctant older mentor. Basically he's Luke Skywalker.
The pull between the light and dark sides. Blah blah blah.
Yeah. And apparently the tone is going more for a Logan, like True Grit kind of a thing. So, just as a reminder, so Sean Levy's doing this movie. Screenplay was written by Jonathan Tropper, and we know for a fact Ryan Gosling, Amy Adams, Matt Smith, Mia Goth, and Aaron Pierre, who is I can picture his face, but I cannot remember for the life of me what he's in. Also, they didn't list in the article. They didn't list the kid's name, which I feel is kind of yeah. So this is coming out May 20th, 2027. Is any of this true? Perhaps it could be true. A lot of it just kind of like, what is the most generic fantasy bullshit I can think of? Which might be what the writer did, right?
Possible, yeah.
So like
we know Disney has been taking some swings with Star Wars recently.
And they were penalized for the big swings.
So I can absolutely believe that they would turtle up, go very conservative, and say we're going to make just the most bog standard space fantasy story you've ever seen.
Yeah. Which
kind of sucks.
Yeah.
But like, as long as the end product is entertaining, it'll probably work out for them.
Yeah. So I don't know. Let us know in the comments what your Spidey senses are telling you about Star Wars Starfighter and whether or not any of this makes sense.
That's what they call foreshadowing.
I know for our very show.
Yeah.
Agent 008 says, I hope Filoni actually goes on creating a separate universe where the sequels will never happen.
No, that's not happening.
Yeah, that's never going to happen.
The best you're going to get is Star Wars Visions.
Yeah. Also, like, so just like everyone else, I feel like the sequel trilogy is just like the prequel trilogy, where there are 3 movies. On any given person, there's one that they really like, there's one that they hate, and there's one that they're just like, whatever, right?
Do you really think there's someone out there whose favorite movie is Attack of the Clones?
Prequel movies.
Yeah, that's what I said.
Episode 1, Episode 2, Episode 3.
Yeah. Do you really think there's someone whose favorite Star Wars movie is Attack of the Clones?
I thought you said something else. I think John's might be.
Really?
Which might be grounds for a divorce.
Yeah,
granted.
I mean, he's also a Trekkie, so...
Yeah, right. Exactly.
That relationship has already been on eggshells from the beginning. I don't know how you managed to keep it working.
17 years, man. It's been a long 17 years. So, like, you know, I feel like for me, like Last Jedi was the one that I really loved. Force Awakens was the one that I was like about, and Rise of Skywalker was the one I really hated. If I had if I read something that was like, you know what they're gonna do? They're gonna cut out Rise of Skywalker and do it again, or you know they're gonna cancel that out of the canon. I would be like, well, that's dumb as fuck. That's never going to happen. So when you read shit like that online about Filoni making his own universe and the sequels, and they're going to go and execute Kathleen Kennedy on the front lawn of Lucasfilm and all this other bullshit, like all that shit is written to make you upset and riled up and get you to engage with their content.
If it sounds too good to be true, it's probably bullshit.
Yeah. CJ Strout, I can't read this far away. Where's the fucking little kid who's supposed to be reading our...
I'm a huge Miami Dolphins fan. Great for you. Really happy.
A weird flex, but all right. And then our buddy Jimmy says, good day, lads. Good day.
General Kenobi.
Let's move on here to the next thing, which is...
Mando and Grogu.
Yeah, we've got some box office performance figures here for the Mandalorian and
Guessing
Grogu.
it's not great.
It's not. So I want to front load this a little bit with every film ever in the history of cinema goes into the theaters and they have their first week sales figures, and then they have their second week sales figures. The second week always drops off a bunch, right? It's because people get really excited for it, even that, like, with the exception of like your Titanics and your Endgames and shit, which are like...
There was this one really recent horror movie that apparently had fantastic word of mouth and actually did better on its I'm forgetting the name of it now.
Oh, no. I know what you're talking about. It might actually be in my notes because it was in this article.
But yeah, like the people who saw it in the first week were like, "Oh my
Obsession.
god, Obsession, yes,
Obsession,
that's it." And they told everyone they knew, "Hey, you have to go see this," and then everyone did.
So it had like the reverse effect, right? So basically, most movies, with some exceptions, have their sales figures drop off a bunch after the second week,
and that is completely expected.
Now there is a gauge, so if your sales figure, if your movie attendance drops off by like 30%, that's really good, right? Like your movie's doing really, really well. Like 40-50% is it's about average, and then after that it's pretty bad. So Mandalorian Grogu earned about $25 million domestically in its second week, which is a 70% drop off from its $81.6 million opening weekend.
Ooh, that movie is not making back money after marketing. It might not even make back its budget.
Yeah, it's
certainly not domestically.
Yeah, it's in a little bit of trouble. The article compares the drop unfavorably to Solo: A Star Wars Story, which made nearly $30 million in its second week after a similar opening. So this is generally indicative of a movie losing quite a lot of steam with word of mouth and everything, and all the money they're going to make from it, they've pretty much already made. So, like you said, it's unlikely this movie probably won't break even, which is great for the people who made it. Hollywood loves a movie that doesn't break even, because they get to claim all kinds of insurance and shit with it, and they get paid. They get paid anyway. It doesn't matter, right? So what this means is that there are people probably involved in the production that won't get paid because there are a lot of contracts that state. This is a really famous, well-known thing that happened to David Prowse, who was the guy that was in the suit for Darth Vader for the original trilogy. He was never paid for his role in the films because his contract said if this movie doesn't break even, you don't get paid. And
then there was a bunch of accounting bullshit.
Right.
Sure
because
like even.
The idea that Star Wars didn't break even is insane.
Yeah.
Star Wars in 1977 was the first blockbuster event of human history, right? There was nothing like that before 1977. And so Hollywood accountants figure out a way to make it look like a loss. And so David Prowse never got paid. And it was awful for people like him.
Colossal load of bullshit.
Yeah, so I guess that's the part that I'm like, oh, that really sucks, because like I'm sure there are people here that they aren't getting paid that should be. So the younger audiences apparently favored Backrooms instead, which opened out at 81 million. 86% of the audience was under 35, with over half under 25. So like it was a kids movie, but out of all the kids, they were going to a different movie.
Yeah.
And then the article also pointed out competition from Obsession, which is kind of a one-shot, like crazy, that usually doesn't happen, and Scary Movie 6. Which,
what is with all these horror or pseudo horror movies happening in like the middle of summer?
I don't know. There's a gay one coming out that if I want to see it, I have to drive to Champaign to see it, because they're like, we would never show something like that here.
Of course not.
So, like I said, it's usually worth it to note that sales figures drop off after a movie come out. That's pretty standard. Like that always happens.
Completely normal.
Yeah, but Mandalorian Grogu is
dropped off.
It's pretty hard. Yeah. So, all right. Shall we get to the State of Play / Game Fest?
I think it's video game time.
We're talking about Star Wars Galactic Racer first.
Which had a brand new trailer just yesterday.
It's it was the story trailer, right? And not, because I think they had the gameplay trailer already a few weeks ago, and this is the story trailer, if I'm not.
I think that's right. Yeah.
So this is an arcade-style Star Wars racing game focused on repulsor craft and pod racing-inspired action, and the main story follows rookie racer Shade trying to dethrone corrupt league champion Kestar Bool.
And also Sebulba's in there somewhere.
Yeah. It features returning prequel-era characters, as you just said, Sebulba as a mentor figure, apparently.
That's weird.
Which
I cannot see Sebulba as a mentor to anybody.
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe, you know how people, they mellow out when they get older? I'm told, my partners told me that I've mellowed out quite a lot as I've gotten older. Maybe that's what it is.
Yes, you have. Although I could also see it as like Sebulba doesn't like anybody, but he hates the guy you're trying to beat so much. He's like, all right, kid, let me tell you how to beat this motherfucker.
I don't want you guys to win. I just need Kylo Ren to lose.
Exactly.
Yeah. Includes roguelite / run-based campaign mechanics, where crashes can interrun, upgrades and perks carry over, and players rebuild and try again on different maps. And then there'll be a campaign mode, a scenario mode, arcade mode, and multiplayer mode.
Mm-hmm.
And
of course, the game looks great because it's a modern Star Wars game on modern hardware.
And it launches on October 6th. We have a release date, which is
pretty soon.
Yeah, October 6th, 2026 for PS5, Xbox Series X, and PC.
Yeah, 3 months, and you can relive Star Wars Pod Racer on the N64, except newer.
Yeah, shinier and yeah. So also we got a. Was this a
trailer for Zero Company?
Is this a story trailer or a gameplay trailer?
Both.
Or a little bit of both. Yeah. So this is a tactical strategy game from Bit Reactor, made by former XCOM and Civilization developers, that is set during the Clone Wars. And players control former Republic officer Tesh Hawks and a squad called Zero Company. This also, not also, but this features turn-based combat, squad management, permadeath, and base / hub progression. And okay, I'm gonna say the thing that pissed a couple of people off on social media today.
Only one thing pissed them off?
This one really did, to at least a handful of people.
Okay.
This looks like a mobile game to me.
Not really.
I think it does. I think it looks like a mobile game with a $60 fucking price tag. And you know what it reminded me of when I was watching it? Do you remember that mobile game that came out? It was a few months ago. That arena style.
Yes.
Yeah, that's what it looks like to me.
I disagree.
Yeah, you and a few people on Facebook. So I will say, like, there are a lot of people that agreed, but there are some really vocal people that didn't. And I noticed that all of them were like people who've played XCOM before. And the general tone I got from the comments were, why do people keep saying this? Which, if people keep saying it, maybe it's not as untrue as you think it is. Because that was the tone I got. A lot of frustrated people will be like, I keep seeing people say this, and if they played XCOM, they would think differently. And maybe that's true. I haven't played XCOM.
You should, by the way. It's
yeah.
a good game.
The thing is, I don't look. This boils down to the kind of game that people like to play as well. I'm gonna play this game. It's a Star Wars game. Like I'll almost certainly play it. And it's not like I wouldn't say it's so nakedly exploitive like the game I mentioned before, like where it's the whole thing was built to sell microtransactions and prey on children.
It's not a gotcha game.
Yeah.
So it might have a DLC or two, but like it's going to be presumably a finished package for $60-$70.
Which also, what else is coming out anyway? You know, we got Galactic Racer in this. We have no news on the Cal Kestis thing other than some rumors.
I mean, it's happening. It's just probably not like it'll be at least a year.
I'm not sure. This thing better have a killer fucking story, because I don't think I personally, and this is just personal taste. This isn't a declaration on the kind of game that it is, which I think some people might have mistook my comments about. I am not really attracted to this style of gameplay very much.
Okay.
Anything can happen though, because I'll tell you a quick story.
Okay.
I played Star Trek Voyager Into the Unknown.
Oh yeah, that
one. Which consumed my life for like 2 weeks. And it was never like I had played FTL a little bit but not the other game that it's kind of based on. And I don't think that, like, if it wasn't Star Trek, I might not have played it at all. But because it was Star Trek Voyager, and that's a show that's one of the few Star Trek shows I've seen front to back.
Because John has subjected you to it several times.
And that game pulled me in for like 2 weeks straight, where I was, and you go through all the events of Star Trek Voyager, and like different things can happen, like Tom Paris can die in the first like bit, or like or you can create Tuvix, and then you can make your own choice on what happens to Tuvix and all this other bullshit. And I was like, okay, that's actually kind of neat, because it has a lot of replayability and everything. And I played it for like two weeks solid. I was really into it. That could happen with this. I'm just saying that classically, I don't generally gravitate toward games like this. I am more into your God of Wars, and not just like big guys beating things up. Like
you like to press buttons and see big explosions.
And I think more paramount than that is an amazing story.
Okay.
And I'm not sure I see that. It's hard to tell based on what we saw in the trailer. I'm not sure that's there.
They're certainly trying for a good story from everything I've seen and heard. The other thing about this type of game, especially the XCOM games, is that a lot of the story sort of is just based on things that happen. Like as you play, your squad members will do things, and you'll form a mental attachment. Like, oh hey, this guy throws grenades all the time, and he does really well with them. Or this guy lands every single shot he makes on this type of alien. So sometimes you get that sort of story.
So it's like the story emerges from the gameplay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or like they also mentioned in an interview a little while back that pretty much all the characters were going to be unique and have their own sort of story and progression tied to that.
Yeah.
So it could be a thing where there's like a lot of different
and
smaller
look,
stories.
Look, I will admit that is a like gameplay mechanic is way more advanced than a mobile game could ever be.
Mm-hmm.
But I think a part of me does not like how the game looks.
Okay, that's fine.
So
as Jeff Keighley himself said, not every game is for everybody, and that's okay.
Man, Jeff Keighley is really getting some like name love on this podcast right now.
It's okay because everybody's gonna forget him until the Game Awards.
It's funny you say that. I watched a like a super cut of like the big moments from all the trailers for the games that are coming out. And it's funny that was the thought. I was like, that game, I'm sure that appeals to someone, but it is not me.
Yeah.
I can't remember any in particular, but I was just kind of like, oh, I bet someone really likes that. Just not me so much. I did see that like Alien Isolation is getting another game.
Yep.
There's a new Final Fantasy game coming out, which I'm surprised you didn't want to talk about because aren't you like kind of into all that?
Yes, but also I still haven't played. So that is the conclusion of the Final Fantasy VII remake, and I haven't played the second one yet.
Oh, okay. What's holding you up?
It's PS5 or PC, and like I played the first part on PS4, and I don't know if my PC is actually good enough to play.
Oh. Do you want to borrow my PlayStation 5? Could you bang it out in like 2 weeks? We'll talk after I beat. We'll talk. I've been playing 007 First Light. I have to beat that first before I let my PlayStation out. And then I think there was other one. There's like one.
God of War.
Well, we're gonna talk about the next, but there's. Did you ever play? Oh fuck! What is it called though? It's a scary game. It's a horror game.
Resident Evil?
No,
Silent Hill?
No, it's an ensemble cast, and the different decisions you make can get different characters killed.
It's not that one that came out real recently, is it?
Yeah, well, it's got a bunch of games in that universe.
Walking Dead. You're talking about the Wolf Among Us.
No. Though that I did see that as well, and that's from Telltale.
Yes.
And what I can tell, people are really kind of loved the first one. The people that played it anyway. And so I think people are really excited about that one. Someone in the comments, tell me about this game I'm thinking of.
Read his mind.
Yeah, there were like they always have like big name actors in it. Like in the very first game, Rami Malek is in the first game. His likeness is used in the first game. And Peter Stormare is used. Okay, you know what? I'm going to look it up. Hold on.
Damn, I'm just really confused.
Rami. Yes, thank you.
Oh,
Jesus Christ. I don't know if you... Okay.
No, I never played it.
That might have seemed really... I don't know. I just realized our producer just said that, and I just was talking like everyone else could hear him. Yeah. I'm not hearing voices in my head. Until Dawn, yeah. So Until Dawn 2 is coming out, and there are a couple of famous actors that are involved in that. Mm-hmm. I'm not sure if I'll be into that. But one that we did see an extended thing about was... the
God of War Laufe,
which is like the
spin-off.
I'm not sure it's a sequel because quick mini Star Wars story time. Except it's not Star Wars.
Mini God of War story.
Yes. So the God of War reboot,
Mhm.
both of them, God of War and God of War Ragnarok, both of which are brilliant games with brilliant stories. And every time I watch and or play God of War Ragnarok, I cry at the end because it's so good. That's the kind of game I want from things like Zero Company, by the way.
Yeah.
Like I want something that'll grab me, not like that. Um, the whole plot of the first game of this reboot, which we had not seen God of War after like 10 years or something, is that Kratos' wife dies.
Is murdered, right?
No, she died. I don't think we know how she dies. I don't think they ever
Okay.
really go into it. But he is left with this like
He's left with boy.
yeah, he's left with this 12-year-old kid that he doesn't really know how to behave around because he's not a great father.
He's not the god of child rearing. He's the god of war.
He's definitely not the god of fatherhood. And their quest is that Faye, his wife, requested that her remains be brought to the top of the highest point in all the realms and her ashes scattered, right? And that's the quest. And the whole thing just like develops from that, and it's beautiful.
Yeah.
The whole thing, and there's spoilers. There's this huge reveal toward the end that Faye saw her death and went ahead on their journey and guided their way and everything. And so basically what happens, what I can tell from this is that she dies and then wakes up in like super hell or something.
Yeah, the hell of the gods.
Yes. And she meets some Egyptian gods of war, which is really neat. And
Sekhmet, who is the god of death, I think.
Is that the scary looking one with the fire hair, or is that
no?
the
That's
other one?
the woman who rides off on the
Who's
Sphinx.
the scary looking guy with the fire
idea.
hair? He might not be Egyptian.
I don't think they said his name.
Yeah.
I just know because someone called the woman Sekhmet.
Yeah. So those two are there. There's a gelatinous sentient cube, voiced by the guy that plays Boimler and Lower Decks and Huey and the Boys.
Which has to be a Dungeons and Dragons reference, like because the gelatinous cube is a famous long-running Dungeons and Dragons monster. Like,
oh, it is.
Yes, they're usually considerably larger than that, but like I saw that, I was like, "There's no way this isn't a D&D reference."
I do like how in this, like, she fights the scary-looking fire hair guy, and the cube just comes in out of nowhere and hits him, like runs into him, and then like runs away. And he's got a sword sticking out the top of his head, which I think is a sentient sword.
Sentient ribbon. The sword itself is just
a
sword, but the ribbon is sentient.
Look, if you're listening to this stuff and you're like, what the fuck are you guys talking about?
Welcome to God of War.
That's what it is. And I can't bring this up and talk about how excited I am without addressing the discourse around this game.
So I went on YouTube to look this up today because I hadn't watched it in its full, and like the second result underneath the actual video was, "This is proof that God of War is not for us anymore." And I'm like, Jesus fucking Christ, dude, calm down.
Guys will get so upset when you have to play a female in a video game. Which is funny because we know that you're all giving blowjobs under like the truck stop stall on the weekends when your wife is out. So like, or you have your secret fucking Grindr account. So like, let's not protest too much, you know.
Very famously, the Republican National Convention is the Super Bowl for Grindr.
Right, exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like y'all are making your this is woke, and you are literally sucking dick on the weekends. So let's just fuck off with the pretense. I'm surprised they didn't get really. Do you remember when was that one game with the redheaded girl with the bow that isn't brave?
Horizon.
Yes, when the trailer for the second game came out, and people were like, "Why does she have peach fuzz on her face?" It's like, because that's what happens.
Yes. Humans are hairy.
Yeah, we're literally apes. Like that's why.
Yeah.
I'm surprised I haven't seen any comments about that.
The one comment I saw that really stuck with me is Kratos saw this woman who can double jump and do air combos and said, "That's her. That's my wife.
Yeah.
I'm marrying her right now."
It is.
Which, to be fair, if I met a woman who could double jump and do air combos,
yeah,
I get it.
There is a beautifully poignant bit in I think the first game where he tells Atreus, "Your mother fought beautifully," and there is every bit of that sentence you feel in the combat of this game. She's extraordinarily graceful, very powerful. She knows how to fight really, really well. And that's the first thing I thought of was this line from Kratos.
Plus, she can press R2 to yank a motherfucker's soul out of his body.
Like fucking like what's her name in Endgame?
Oh, yeah.
When the Hulk, she's like, wha-bam!
And he's just like, whoa, what the fuck?
You knocked me straight out of my fucking soul. I don't know. I'm excited about this. I'm going to play it. I think it's fucking great. There was no official news about.
There was no trailer. There was no news.
Yeah. Which means, by the way, if we're not seeing stuff at like Game Fest or, I think we already passed E3, right? Or is that
E3 doesn't exist anymore? This was E3, essentially.
Right. No, you're right. If we're not seeing anything about this now, it's going to be years before we see this the next game.
At the very least, it will not happen before the Game Awards.
Yeah. So there are some rumors, and these rumors might be a product of just the absence of news about this and people just wishing that we had news about it and making shit up. I don't really know. This is one of those take it with a bucket of salt kind
if it's
of things.
not coming from an accredited source, then it's bullshit.
Yeah. So reports suggest that the third Jedi game will feature an older version of Cal Kestis, which we're really starting off with the really obvious things because of course it's going to be an older version.
Yes.
I think what they mean is that he's going to be significantly older than because he's like Jedi Fallen Order. It's like Twink Cal Kestis, and then Jedi Survivor is like Twunk Cal Kestis, and I assume that the next Jedi game will be like Daddy Cal Kestis. Maybe even literally, since I think at the end of that second game he just like adopted that girl and it was like, you're my kid now. So there's going to be a large time jump. Apparently it's going to be 14 years after the Battle of Yavin, which is about 5 years after the events of Jedi Survivor. And quote-unquote insiders imply development on the third game is progressing relatively smoothly. Cameron Monaghan potentially continuing as an older Cal lines up with the recent rumors about more Cal Kestis stories outside the games, which is something we covered last week when I think someone official from Lucasfilm was like, yeah, we're going to have more Cal Kestis stories. Everyone calm the fuck down, please. Like, stop asking us about it. So there's that whole thing.
Yes.
In the same vein, Star Wars Eclipse likely is not going to happen.
You don't say.
Yeah. So this report paints a very troubled picture for development. Multiple insiders describe the game as being in quote-unquote development hell. NetEase reportedly wants to divest from Quantic Dream. And then another Quantum Dream project, Spellcasters Chronicles, was allegedly being used to help fund Eclipse before reportedly being halted. So insiders strongly suggest fans should not expect meaningful updates anytime soon.
That sounds like
This game was announced years ago
with a fucking kick-ass cinematic trailer, which gave you no idea of what that game was actually going to be like to play.
Right. Other than their weird oily alien men and Yodas in one shot. Yeah.
And it looked really mysterious and cool, and then we've heard absolutely nothing since.
There were big dudes playing drums and shit. I was like, this looks really neat. I would like to play this game.
Nope. Sorry.
All right. Real quick before we move on, Sir David Deep Starwalker says, yo. Chris says, may the force be with you. Not you, Chris. Another Chris. May the force be with you, Daniel and Chris. I'm excited for both Star Wars games. Nice. I'm happy for you.
Neat.
And then Daniel.
Not you.
Not allowed. There can only be one. Says, who up cranking?
You know what? Good for you.
Yeah.
Let's move on.
Agree. All right. So we're going to talk about Spider-Noir.
There are some comments that you should just not read.
Yeah. That's okay. Okay. Can we start this off by saying I have loved Spider-Noir. I did not want to spend 2 weeks on it. And the reason we're spending 2 whole weeks on it
is because they dropped the entire thing on Wednesday.
Right. It's like the day before our show. Yeah. And it's like, I thought this show was a lot of fun. It's not my favorite MC or like Sony show. But
it was fun.
Here we are the second week and I'm like, we're still talking about Spider-Noir. Oh my God. A quick spoiler free season 1 series retrospective. What say you about it?
The casting was phenomenal.
Agreed.
I think every single actor just absolutely nails their roles.
You know who I really hated?
Who?
Megawatt, the electricity guy.
You were supposed to.
I know. I understand. There's something about that accent that and it could be, you could use that accent and I'd be like, I fucking hate you.
Yeah.
There's something about that accent.
It is meant to grind your gears.
Yeah. You know who my favorite character I think is?
Who's that?
His assistant.
Janet,
that Hispanic lady who's his assistant. Yeah, I think she's probably the best. And then I think my second favorite is the kid she's trying to force learn math to. And then I think my third is probably obviously Nicolas Cage.
Of course, yeah.
I think Nicolas look,
he whole-assed this role.
Yes, and look, there are two kinds of people in the world, I feel like. There are the people who really love Nicolas Cage, and then there are the people who say they hate Nicolas Cage and they're lying about it. Because there's no way you can watch Nicolas Cage and not just be charmed to fucking death by him. He's just perpetually too much all the time. And what's funny is in this show that he manages to dial it back. I don't know if they like force fed him Valium a little bit, but like before shooting, that's kind of why he's a little more chill. Mm-hmm. But he put him in any scene, in any situation, in any franchise, in any character, male or female.
He's gonna take it to like 12.
Yeah, and it's going to be entertaining. Like it's so much fun. And I feel like he had a lot of fun doing this. Mm-hmm. And there's one shot in the last episode where they just put a camera in front of him in the Spider-Noir suit, and they're like, just thwip a whole bunch, and he's like, oh fuck yeah, and he just like it's so funny, and I love it, and I love him, and I'm glad that he was. This all spawned out of the Spider-Verse, the first Spider-Verse film where he voiced the Spider-Noir character. And they were like,
somebody at Sony was like, you know what? We need more of that.
Yeah. And you know what? Give that guy a raise.
Yeah, I'm glad they did this.
Yeah. Like I would watch 20 Spider-Noirs to avoid watching one fucking Morbius.
Okay. Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah. So
just because like there's so much joy in this show.
Oh yeah, I know. And it's there's something about it that's so old-timey and corny, which is by design.
Yes, it's like everyone involved was like, we are making a noir show, so fucking study up on your noirs.
Yep. And the film score is going to have a lot of muted trumpet and jazz and stuff, and it's going to be lots of really dramatic camera angles where
Dutch angles all over the place.
And then the female is going to do this like in every noir.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Where she suddenly turns to the camera and looks all like, you know.
And when we walk around with guns, it's from the hip, not extended.
Yep,
we didn't do that at that time.
Yeah. What's that fucking line from Home Alone? The
keep the change.
Yeah, filthy animal. Yeah, it's like that. Yeah. So I love that. You know, like I said, not the best show I've ever seen in my life. Like
it's not going to change your life or anything,
right?
But it's fun.
But I wasn't bored a single moment when I was watching it. And I thought it was great. Yeah. All right, so let's get into the story a little bit. Ben, this is episode 5, by the way. If you were dying to see our summary of the first 4 episodes, go and watch our podcast from last week. We're on episode 5. We start off with Ben revealing his origin story to Kat, which is how the spider became the spider, which was that he was in World War I as a soldier.
Liberating some French town that had been occupied by the Germans.
Yep, and they were experimenting on POWs. Mm-hmm. And he is bitten by this scary fucking...
This guy who had some spider pumped into him.
This was terrifying to me. And you can tell that there were moments where they're like, if we're gonna do the TVMA thing, there are a couple of moments where we're gonna fucking earn it. And I think this is one of them.
Like when he pulls the blanket off the guy and like his lower half is
it's so nasty.
And then he gets out there and like he has like 6 eyes on the left side of his face. It's fucked up.
By the way, I love spiders. Mm-hmm. In fact, I have a strict rule at my house. We do not kill spiders in this house. They are extraordinarily beneficial to your house. They hunt and eat pests. They are harmless to people. Even the ones, like the real scary ones that you read about, like brown recluse spiders. If you're bitten by a brown recluse spider, 50% of the time, nothing will happen to you because they just don't, first of all, they wouldn't bite you. Like the spiders like that are really shy and they don't want to be around people at all. Like
Do you mean to tell me there's a reason they're called recluse spiders?
Yeah, and that is most spiders, where they don't want anything to do with people.
Mhm.
You're big and you make a lot of noise and you're very scary, and they'd much rather just fuck off and go hide in your closet and eat little bugs,
Yeah.
right? Which is what I like my spiders to do, because I hate little bugs that crawl
Yeah.
around everywhere. In fact, there's a spider that lives over here in my little workshop behind my drapes,
Mhm.
and he just kind of his name's
She.
Alfred. Probably a she, yeah. It's funny because her name's Alfred.
Her name is Alfred. Yeah.
Just, you know what? I let her back there every once in a while. I'll put a little bottle cap with water and put it back there because they can get dehydrated. I don't want her to get dehydrated. So anyway, he tells this whole origin story to Kat, and he's like, and there was a big fucking spider.
Mhm.
That's how it happened. And I think it's interesting that he like he does the Nicolas Cage weird body movement thing with like when he's right after he's bitten. Yeah. So Robbie regains his job at the Daily Bugle after reporting on the spider's fight with Layden. Which, by the way,
Megawatt.
Yeah. Last week I was talking about how I thought one of these guys was Tombstone, and I was right.
Oh.
But it's not the Sandman guy, because he's Sandman, I think, and Megawatt. Yeah. It's the third guy with the ridges on
the lizard guy.
But he's not a lizard. He's Tombstone.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So because I looked it up. I was like, Lonnie Lincoln sounds like he was in that animated Spider.
Oh,
yeah.
Fuck! I didn't put that together.
Right.
Okay.
So yeah, it's just a different version of him. But yeah. So Robbie and Janet discover every metahuman had contact with Dr. Faber before developing powers.
Dr. Faber, who's a doctor at the VA hospital, who's dealing with all the POWs from the camp.
Yeah. So this is where Megawatt gets beat up by the one guy.
Oh yeah, the detective who's and we find out that he's a theater buff, apparently.
Yeah, he's kind of like Clayface a little bit, where he was, he is a villain, but before he was a villain, he was an actor.
Very theatrical. Well, he's a subway driver who wanted to be an actor, I think.
Yeah. So Robbie goes to the hospital because his job is to distract Dr. Faber while Nicolas Cage jumps in and
starts going through her
grabs
files.
the files. Yeah. So we see Dr. Faber with this old guy that you think is at first is like either an assistant or like maybe her husband,
secretary.
Yeah,
I think she introduces him as.
Yeah, but she seems very close to him, and it's a little weird. Nicolas Cage breaks in. He at first can't find any files, right? But then he discovers one of the.
There's a little trick cabinet.
There's a little lock, yeah, and he gets those.
And he just stuffs them all into his jacket. And
I love this bit where he comes through the window and like trips through it and like barely he like crashes out on the floor, because this is exactly, if I had spider powers, this is exactly how it would be. Where like I would try to do something really graceful, and because I'm like almost 40 years old, my back would hurt and I would just fall over.
I love the part where Dr. Faber comes back into her office and he just pretends to be like a dementia patient or something.
no, hold on. Yeah. This is, I don't know if he, like, while he was swinging in, he was like, I need a contingency for if she walks through that fucking door.
I don't think he had a contingency. I think he made this up
He
on the
just
spot.
made it up on the spot, which that is pretty hilarious. Silvermane and his henchmen go and pay Megawatt a visit, and they're like, "Well, we're breaking you out.
We're breaking you out. Yeah. You work for Silvermane."
Yeah. So,
and then this is Flint going to talk to Kat,
right, about how he's kind of figured out that she was the one that tried to kill Silvermane and blah blah blah, and he's like, obviously I'm not gonna tell because I'm in love with you, and if I tell, then
these two are just kind of stuck in an impossible situation.
Yeah, probably not great for each other either. This is not. I don't know. By the end, I don't want to spoil anything too early, but I guess by the end they seem fairly happy together. But I don't know. This is kind of a weird. I don't understand his loyalty to Silvermane.
I think it's supposed to be a positive trait where like he
refuses not to be loyal.
Yeah, he gives his word, and that's the end of it. He gave his word, so he's going to keep it.
I think that if I were in this situation and it was John, who like John had tried to kill Silvermane, and like if Silvermane found out he'd killed John, and be like, well, I guess I got to kill Silvermane now.
I mean, I got these superpowers.
Yeah,
so why
it
not?
might just bang him on the head,
Bonk.
Yeah. So I think this is where they decide.
So this is Ben telling Janet, I'm leaving town with Kat.
Yeah, he's gonna run away
because we're in love.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna give you some money and the office because you're a better investigator than I am.
And you know what? She's pretty happy for him.
Yeah.
She's like, oh, great.
Fucking fantastic.
Yeah. So this is more talking between the two of them. We get it. You love each other. This is Dr. Faber. Our faces are like right in the way here.
Yeah.
Hold on. Maybe I'll move this.
So what's happening is the doctor and her secretary are like, they're arguing because like the doctor thinks she's really, really close to finding a cure for all the superpowered people. And her secretary is like, look, that was a reporter from the Daily Bugle. He's going to report and just blow all of this out of the water. You are going to go to jail. We need to get the fuck out of here.
Yeah. And she's like, or we can keep doing what we're doing, and maybe because I don't think they've put together yet that they need the spider to do anything.
I think they have,
or maybe that
because like he's the only one who is stable. All the others.
Oh, that's no.
All
that's
the others,
true.
their powers are killing them.
Yeah.
But
so she's like, or we could just figure out, we could get the spider and fix everything.
It's like, okay, well, if that happens to happen while we're on the way out of town, great.
Literally walking out of the,
we need to go.
Literally walking out of the building. If someone runs up and says, if you find this spider, are you really able to help them? Then we need to go. And as they're walking out of the building,
Kat comes up and says, if you find the spider, are you really able to help them?
Yeah. And then fucking rats Ben Reilly the fuck out. Like just immediately is like, it's Ben.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so that's great.
And that's the end of the episode.
Yeah. So
see, the next one opens with Ben,
her secretary, showing up to the office, right?
Ben is packing and trying to figure out what he's going to do when he leaves town, and then his secretary's in there like, hey,
he's thinking about the copious amounts of sex he's going to have with Kat, probably. Yeah. Which I get it.
Ben, not the secretary.
Could be either. Depends
Honestly,
on what kind of story you're into.
Anyway, the secretary tries to convince Ben. Ogden is the name.
Right,
Ogden says to Ben, look, I was in that POW camp too. My mutation is that I just age really quick.
I age like a dog.
I'm like 32 or something,
Yeah.
but I look like an old man.
Yeah.
So like, if you just come along with me and let the doctor do a little investigation, you'll save my life, and then you can
everyone else is probably as well. And he's like, no.
And then Ogden's like, all right, well, I try to do this the nice way, but now I'm going to inject you with something.
Yep. He knocks him out and takes him anyway. He wakes up on the table, and she's like, look, all I need to do is cut your liver out.
Well, first she says, I just need to draw some blood.
Yeah.
So let me just do a little of that, and you can have a hallucination here where we get some more backstory.
Yeah, we find out that the army apparently did a lot of experimentation on him, trying to figure out everything.
And Ogden's like, look, man, I didn't want to do this. Like, I'm just trying to save my life.
The greater good.
Yeah.
And then so she's like, okay, now I need to really cut your liver out. And she does some experiments, and she breaks the code.
Yes.
And she,
while all this is happening, the drugs they have Ben on cause him to fucking trip balls.
Yeah.
Like when she makes the incision, he sees spiders come out.
This is another. I'm like, people who are watching this who have arachnophobia, this is the scene they will have to skip. Probably.
And like he runs off the table into another room and like confronts the spider himself.
Yeah.
It's really fucked up.
So she breaks the code. She makes the antidote, and she gives it to her son.
Yep.
And he de-ages.
Yeah, just a normal guy now.
And now he's kind of attractive, and so that's great, right? And then she was like, so he's like, so we're gonna let the spider go, right? Because he like cooperated, and she's like, no, we're gonna kill him.
No, he has to die.
Yeah, because it's funny because like up until now you're like, okay, it is kind of fucked up that she would strap him down and cut out his liver, but she is a scientist, and she's trying to help, the greater good.
Not only that, she's doing it out of love for her son.
Yeah,
which
I get.
Okay,
yes, but then she's like, if he tells
on
on us, we're in so much trouble. So you need to shoot him in the face.
Yeah,
and he's like, okay, well, I'll go do that right now. let me do it.
Mhm.
And he takes the gun and he goes down. He's like, so my mom told me to shoot you in the face, but I'm not going to do that because you know, you saved my life in the war and everything.
So like they're taking the elevator up, and as they get there, Silvermane and his goons
his
are coming
boys,
in.
yeah.
And I love this gag. So like we see Silvermane and his goons ride the elevator down, and then the door opens, they get out. Moment later, Ben and Ogden fall
Just
from
fall
the roof of the elevator.
Yeah. So they find the good doctor, who has, by the way, already manufactured an antidote and has a very clearly labeled bottle that says antidote, which is the most noir thing in the world, right?
Sure.
They don't go into the science of it. They don't go into the specifics.
Need to. It ain't that kind of story.
It's a little jar with liquid that says antidote on it. You might as well just,
That's all it needs to be. It's a MacGuffin.
Yep. And it turns out...
so she takes them back to the part of her lab where she has all her specimens stored.
Yeah.
These specimens being dead guys.
Yeah.
And
with various gross mutations.
Yeah, Megawatt ends up losing his temper and just kind of shockies them and lights everything on fire.
Yep.
Ben goes back long enough to get the antidote and then escape, but Ogden and the doctor are more.
They're killed in the fire, right? Yeah. They go to the Backstreet Boys reunion tour, which
Start of the next episode, Ben is sitting in a bar looking at this antidote and just knocking back much booze.
This scene is so fucking hilarious. And you know why I love it so
Nick
much?
Cage?
Yeah. Which, by the way, I got a shot of this line because I didn't understand what it meant. I can't even remember the question. She asks him if he wants a drink.
Yes.
And then his response is, does the king write his sister?
I mean,
I don't know. Are we watching Game of Thrones?
I'm astonished you didn't immediately peg that, given how much you know about Game of Thrones.
That was my immediate thought. But then my next thought was, it's the 1930s. Game of Thrones doesn't exist yet. So what the fuck is this about? And
he's Irish. Of course, he makes fun of the queen.
Is Silvermane an ancestor of George R.R. Martin? Is that what we're to understand about this?
No, George R.R. Martin doesn't have the market cornered on incest jokes, Daniel.
I think he legally might. I think it might belong to him now. So I didn't understand that. I thought it was really
funny.
Anyway, he has his goons raid the mayor that he doesn't want to win.
The mayor's campaign office.
And they steal all his money. Kat shows up to the investigation office and is like,
Look,
you know,
I need to talk to Ben.
Right. He never showed to we're going to run away. He never showed. And she's like,
that's weird.
That does not sound like Ben. So what the fuck is actually going on here? So, so Nick Cage is talking about how spiders move around, which is because they don't have muscles.
They have hydraulics.
Yeah, they have like little hydraulic, as he says, veritable party whistles. Which is really funny. And I think the funniest thing about these guys come in and they start talking shit about Spider-Noir, and he's like...
He just starts bellowing, you ever think he was just a regular guy with regular problems?
Right. They never...
Like, dude, no one asked you.
Have you considered how is Spider-Noir, not where is Spider-Noir? And then he leaves, and then just puts
on his mask,
turns
walks
around,
right back in, and beats the hell out of him.
It is so funny, because you know that any rational person is going to be like, you just walked out and put a mask on and came back in, right? Oh. I have to fix her. I wanted that.
So Robbie Robertson comes in and is like, Jesus Christ, man, what did you do all this for?
I do like our camera's in the way. You can't really see it, but he's got the bottom third of his mask up so he could drink. Yeah.
And like, okay, we gotta get chatting.
Yeah, so they go and have a talk about, Ben is putting on this front where he's like, I'm only doing this for myself. Like, I'm going to take the antidote and I'm not going to be the spider anymore.
I'm going to fucking leave town.
Yeah, and then Robbie's like, okay, but you would have done that already.
Yeah,
and you haven't.
You're so full of shit right now.
So look, your wife died. It was very sad. I'm so sorry, but you need to get the fuck over it, because you could not save her in that situation, and now you have all these people now that you can save. So cowboy up and go save some fucking people. And he's like,
pull on your big spider pants.
Yeah, and he's like, well, I'm also very drunk right now, so can I go sleep it off? Who is this? Oh, no. This is those. I told you I put a couple of these shots in here. Okay, so it's revealed that his assistant knew that he was Spider-Noir the
Yes.
whole time.
Yes.
And it goes through this little mini montage where she walks in and turns on the light and discovers Ben in some degree.
Something. He's very drunk, doing something ridiculous.
Yes. And he's like in this shot, he's got the hat and the goggles on, but not the mask, which I think is fucking hilarious.
Or like he's in his underwear hanging from the ceiling.
Yeah,
You're like,
this-
I'm Spider-Man.
Yeah, this guy right here, this shot right here. Can't you see that the spider is busy? And then there's one where he's just smoking a cigarette and he's got his goggles on in the dark.
Yeah.
And then he's hanging from the ceiling, singing about being the spider and shit. And so she's like, "I know you're the spider.
I've known about it
Yeah.
for years.
The jig's up, Mister."
Yeah.
So they talk about the antidote.
Yep.
And I think the original plan is that Kat is going to get the antidote, and since she can get in close to Lonnie and the guys, that she'd be able to stick him real quick with it. Which some of them don't want to do because she betrayed Ben and obviously can't be trusted. But they're like, actually, that is a really good idea.
No,
though.
Ben is like, that's a really good idea.
Yeah.
And Janet's like, that's a terrible idea.
Yeah.
She already betrayed you once. Who's to say she won't do it again?
She did point out that he points out that she's in love with Flint, so like it makes total sense that she would do this, right?
Yeah, this is
they talk
Flint
more, yeah.
talking to Kat about how you're the total package and all that.
Yeah. Janet tries to tell Ben that he's a good guy, and he is, but he doesn't want to hear it. And there's a really neat turn of phrase.
Yeah,
with
no power comes no responsibility.
Yeah, which is it's a neat little variation on the with great power comes great responsibility thing, which I thought was kind of interesting.
Yes, so he's got 5 syringes, right? 5 syringes with the antidote. Keep track of them.
And there are 4 of them that need it.
Yes,
right. So he could get everyone, including himself,
and still have one.
Still have one extra. Yeah. So he goes to where I think Lonnie Lincoln is.
Yes. So Lonnie and the Silvermane gang are like distributing booze
and
from
guns,
a police warehouse.
And then so there's a fight. He goes to stab him with the syringe, but of course he's Lonnie Lincoln, so it
just bounces. It like bends
the needle. Yeah, you can't get him through the skin.
Yeah.
And then so fucking Robbie just stabs him in the eye with it.
Yeah.
And that works. And so he loses his power, and then he beats the shit out of everyone anyway.
Yeah, and they all jump in a car and drive away.
It's like, my guy, did you need the powers? Because you're kind of a badass anyway.
Also, I love this actor's voice. He's just very deep. Bass.
Yeah.
It's really cool.
I've seen him in a couple of things. I can't remember off the top of my head what though, but I've seen him in a couple of things.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, Ben gets pretty hurt.
Yeah, Ben is already recovering from his unwilling surgery, and then Lonnie beat the shit out of him.
Yeah.
So he like crumples up on the bed like a spider with his and
It's
Lonnie's
so
like,
stupid.
should we do something? Like, should we help him? And Robbie's like, nah, don't worry about it.
He'll be fine. So the mayor or the police chief and Silvermane both realize that they need the spider for their own means.
No, it is the mayor and Silvermane, and the mayor's just talking to Silvermane while
he's talking to the police chief. Yeah, I got you. You're right. So they're both looking for the spider, and there's this really cool.
They're both like, "Get me Ben Reilly."
Yeah, and it's really funny because they present it in this comic book panel kind of way, and it's really fun. So
final episode opens with Silvermane talking to Kat, telling her, never get comfortable, never be satisfied with what they give you.
Everyone kind of rallies at Robbie's place where Nicolas Cage is trying to sleep off all of his injuries and alcoholism all in one. And this is the scene where she goes into the kids in there, right?
Yeah.
And he's like trying to pick the lock on their like lockbox and shit.
I think she gets a phone call or something. And
because she's being followed by the goons.
Yeah.
Right. Because so they want Lonnie Lane, or they want Ben Reilly, so they know that the best way to get him is probably through his assistant.
Mm-hmm.
So they follow her to Robbie's place, right?
Yes.
And they bust in and they're like, "Hey, you're coming with me." And he's like, "Well, let me grab my coat first, the coat that has the antidotes in it." And they're like, "No, fuck you. You don't need a coat, or you don't need a coat."
Mm-hmm.
And then they leave, right?
Yeah.
Then they take him before Silvermane.
And Silvermane's like, "Look, I need you to call the spider, tell him to get his ass over here right now."
Yeah.
And Ben's like, "I'll do it for $5,000."
Yeah. They do a little negotiation. they land on a figure, and then he calls.
he calls. We don't know who he called. By
I have
the way.
no idea who he calls.
He's just on the phone talking, and he says, "Yeah, just come on down to Silvermane's place."
Yeah,
hangs up.
I like the gag where he's like Silvermane's trying to tell him what to tell the spider or who he thinks is the spider, and then he finally just gets. He's like, "You fucking tell him," and he hands him the phone.
Hands him the phone. It's Robbie talking on the phone,
doing a Nicolas Cage,
doing the Nicolas Cage voice.
It's so funny. And he does it when he shows up here. To say, so they kind of put together that Ben is the spider.
Yeah.
Right.
So Silvermane thinks that he is, but he can't be sure.
Right.
So he's like, all right, fucking Cat, give me your gun. Then he points the gun at Cat. He's like, okay. So the spider, like Ben Reilly, you might be a coward who doesn't care about anyone but yourself. But the spider, he's a fucking hero who wouldn't let an innocent get injured. So I'm just going to like hold this gun and say I'm going to shoot Cat in about 5 seconds. And if you're actually the spider, you're going to do something to stop me.
Yeah.
And like under the table, Nick Cage is like trying to whip.
Yeah, because it's kind of broken,
yeah,
right?
Like he's injured, he's tired, he needs to get his thwipping back, but it's not working.
Yeah.
So finally, Cat is like, "Look, Silvermane, I fucking hate you. I did everything in my power to try to kill you, and it didn't work. So like, if you're gonna kill me, don't do it to like lure him out. Like, do it because I'm your enemy."
Yeah. And before he can do anything about this,
in strolls
here
the
comes
spider.
the spider, which is just Robbie.
Yeah.
With the spider costume on, doing his best Nick Cage, which is fair.
Pretty good.
It's a fair Nick Cage impression. And there, I like this bit where Nick Cage and Robbie are trying to communicate with one another about like what his plan is.
Yep.
The whole thing just goes wrong,
Yes.
right? And the reason is because throughout the last couple of episodes, there's been this fomenting with Megawatt.
Yes.
Where he's like, I'm insanely powerful. Why am I listening to Silvermane? Pretty much. And Flint is like, well, because loyalty.
He's the boss.
Yeah, like you gotta have a little bit of loyalty. And he's like, listen to me very carefully. Fuck that. I don't care about any of that.
Yeah.
And
I just want to be in charge and go to all the cool Broadway shows.
Yeah.
And
I just want to see Hamilton.
Yeah.
So he finds out that the spider has the antidote, and he's ordered by Silvermane to bring it to him. And he's like, "How about?" Yeah.
So he stabs the spider with the antidote and then shocks him, and Robbie collapses.
Right.
And through all this, Nick Cage says, "It'd be really good if I could fucking thwip right now, but that's not happening."
Yeah.
So.
I love this reveal, by the way. So he's finally able to get it to work.
Yes.
And he like starts throwing liquor bottles and shit, jumps behind the bar, puts on the mask, and then jumps up.
Puts on the entire suit, by the way.
Yeah.
Hops up on the bar. While this is happening, Kat grabs her gun back and chases Silvermane into the basement.
Yep. And then, they go into the basement, and then the Flint and Megawatt and the spider go outside to do their little duel, right?
Yep.
And so he's got two.
He's down to one.
Oh,
so
right.
He messed one up trying to get Lonnie.
He broke one.
One broke with Lonnie. One actually did get Lonnie. One got pumped into Robbie. So
right.
He's down to
which
one.
was useless because he doesn't even have. Yeah.
So there's one cure left.
Yep. So, and you're probably thinking, well, who is he gonna use it on Megawatt, or is he gonna use it on Flint?
Hold that thought, because we get this fantastic scene with the Hall of Mirrors where Kat is pursuing Silvermane through this, holding her pistol at the hip and like firing shots into the mirrors and the glass cracks, and eventually
all the mirrors are gone.
All the mirrors are gone, and it's just her and him, and she fucking shoots him.
Yep. And his last words were, "The truth is, my love, I'm happy it's you." And then he just falls over and dies. Yep. So back outside, they're
things are not going great for the spider.
Yeah, he's getting his ass whipped. But then I think Flint has a change of heart, right?
Flint's like, all right, look, he's had enough. He's clearly lost. Let's just move on with our lives.
Yeah, I love this effect, by the way, where Megawatt, since Sandman is sand. With enough electricity that turns to glass, and he breaks his arm and everything. It's really gnarly and really cool. And then Spider throws him into a train.
Yes, just whips him, throws him into an oncoming train. That's the end of Megawatt.
So that question about which of the two is he going to inject? Well, it's not Megawatt. He just murdered him.
I think he gives Kat the last antidote and says, "Fucking stick him with it."
Yep. And then puts his hat back on, and he's like, "Fuck you guys, I'm going home."
Yes.
Afterwards, this is like the epilogue, I suppose. They're all back in the office. I guess they have a new revenue stream now too. Maybe he's got some money from that Silvermane deal. I don't know, but
Maybe.
they're
Go on.
they're firing the investigation office back up, right?
Mm-hmm.
They're already getting calls from clients.
Mm-hmm.
And then I think we see that Flint
revealed that it's Riley and Ruiz.
Yeah. Which is good because she's just as smart as he is and is just as capable.
Yeah.
Which I thought was in the very first episode when Silvermane or the one goon tries to pull a gun on him, and then she's just standing behind him with a gun to his head. We find out that Flint and Kat kind of go off and do their own thing. And
so they're like the only two people at Silvermane's funeral.
Yeah.
And then Riley shows up and Kat's like, I gotta talk to you for a second. She's like, okay, look, I actually do love Flint, but if he weren't in the picture, I kind of would have gone off with you.
Oh, yeah.
And Ben's like, fuck you.
Yeah.
She's like, well, fuck you too.
I would have rode that Nicolas Cage all fucking day. And everyone kind of lives happily ever after, except for the doctor and her son, who died horrifically in a fire.
And Silvermane, who got shot.
Yeah. So, honestly...
good show.
Yeah, if we were to do it out of 7 thwips, how many thwips would you give it?
5.5.
Yeah, I would agree with that. It was solid. I had fun watching it. It did not change my life. I wasn't compelled, like I wasn't like moved by it or anything, but it was really good.
It was fun and goofy, and like anytime you get to see Nicolas Cage act his entire ass off,
it's a good time. Yeah, he does. He does the whole ass. It's pretty great. We do not have a show next week. And I think the week after that we have to do a Buzz recap.
Oh, okay.
Of which is great because our producer Matt and my friend Matt, just finished the second season of House of the Dragon, so he'll be able to weigh in on that as well. So, we'll get some drinks, we'll get a little buzzed, and we'll go through the second season of House of the Dragon in preparation for the premiere of season 3, which will be I think in like 2 or 3 weeks. So
well, we'll figure it out.
Yeah. So thanks for joining us tonight. We sure do appreciate it.